Well, let's talk with Christina Katrakis, who's an ambassador of the Foundation for United Nations SDG based in Kyiv. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
How is all this being understood in Kyiv now?
Well, it's understood as a total disgrace, a shame, and very sad development globally. And, I'm an American, so for me, I never thought that I'll live to see U.S. soldiers kneeling in front of a tyrant like Putin and rolling red carpet for a guy, whose arms and legs are covered in blood. The meeting was akin to, Chamberlain meeting Hitler. And the role that U.S. played was pathetic. I mean, I'm really disappointed, and I'm saddened by the whole development. As Margaret Thatcher said, the wars are not caused by buildup of weapons, but rather when the aggressor believes he can achieve his objectives at the acceptable price. And this is exactly what Putin has gotten from this overall meeting. And according to the British intelligence, it will take 4.5 years for Russia to conquer the semi-occupied territories and over 2 million soldiers. So, why should Ukraine sign up for a treacherous deal? It's not even a deal. It's basically giving up everything without any securities. And the deal that says that Russia can go ahead and move forward, conquering Zaporizhia, conquering Kherson later down the road.
We know there are these talks tomorrow with Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky. Volodymyr Zelensky's in a tricky position because he's got to do a deal in this way, but he's also got to persuade the Ukrainian people to back him. So his hands are a little bit tied in that sense, aren't they?
Well, he will not make any deal that is presented by Putin in such a light as it was presented to us, according to Reuters, right? Because it's against Constitution of Ukraine, and he cannot go against Constitution or the will of the people of Ukraine, as cannot any, ruler of any country. But the second thing is that it has given no guarantees for Ukraine or NATO security or anything for the future peace in the country. So it just, it's going to continue chopping down Ukraine again and again with the more and more wars and more buildup. For Europe, it just spells disaster, because right now is the time for European leaders to actually unite and act as a united force. No sanctions can stop Russia, because Russia knows very well how to overcome any sanctions, and they've been doing it for years now with their dark schemes. And saying that you're going to put tariffs, according to U.S. government reports, they have no business with Russia. So that means zero tariffs or zero anything for Russia. So the only way to actually resolve the situation is to strike at the bloodline of this war, which is like oil bases in Russia. So Ukraine needs all that Ukraine needs, not even the boots on the ground from U.S. soldiers or British soldiers, but it more than anything right now, it needs long-range weapons and tomahawks to strike those oil fields, oil bases, and stop feeding the war.
So what would you want to see from the European talks that happened today?
I want Europe to unite, because obviously hoping that U.S. will make any difference or any change with current government is impossible. I mean, we have, unfortunately, very little diplomacy or knowledge of diplomacy in the current office. As you see, Witkoff is an construction magnate, and his talks in Moscow was a disgrace. It's like lost in translation. So we see that Trump totally switched to Russian side, and now a country that was basically taken over by an aggressor is forced to give everything up. Just as in old days it was with Czech Republic or Poland when Hitler attacked, right? And U.S. was rallying, not to support England while Hitler was bombing London. So, I see the history repeating, but in greater and bigger scale. So right now, it's time for Europe to unite and provide Ukraine with missiles that it needs.
Christina, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Christina Katrakis, Ambassador of the Foundation for United Nations SDG, based there in Kyiv.
This is LBC News.